All right, what's going on, guys? So, hopefully, I really don't feel like editing videos today. So, hopefully, I can get everything I wanted to get across done in this video to show you everything you need to do to be a commander in squad. So, I'm gonna do real quick, just jump in heli, get to a point where I can show you a good place to RD and everything for you guys to see. The first part of this video, we're going to cover using the commander assets and all the controls necessary to be able to do it. But I want to get up on this hill. Let's get over to this building. I want to get in this building. So anyways, this is going to be a long video. Just a heads up, I'm going to try and keep it like under 10 minutes, but oh no. Stop before we get there. Okay. Landed, thank you. Alright, we'll shut this off. Alright, so yes, this is going to be a long video, but I want to make sure this is done properly, and I've been talking about doing it for a long time. So, here we go. So, I am in Jensen's farm. I am commander right now. And the first thing to use any of your assets is the request needs to be made. Now, for the longest time as command, I thought that squad leads were the only ones that could do this, but I don't know why it didn't blank on me. You, as a commander, are a squad lead, so you could do all these requests yourself. So the biggest thing you're going to need to know how to do is open your radial menu for these. Now, it's defaulted to T. The T will hold up your radial menu. You could do it while you're aiming down the scope. The best and easiest way is to get your binoculars out though, because they zoom in further and they have a wider field of view. So we're going to get out. We're going to hold T, and right here, tactical support from commander, right? So as commander or as any squad lead, this is what you're going to do, looking at what you want to do. So if I'm looking way down range and I put the request in, you'll see, well, okay, the binoculars do have a range, so let's bring it in a little bit. There. Once you see confirm your request on the map, pop up, you'll see it's right here. So from here, what I would need to do as a squad lead is, after you've gotten this on the map, there's one more step. You got to right click it and accept. This gives you the chance to give yourself multiple attempts at getting it right, because when you're actually in the field, you might not be able to get right up on where you want to RD or put the request in at. Could be dangerous, whatever reason. But once you get it in, you have to go approve the request. So here it is here. Now if I do it again, you'll see shifts the request, and this will keep doing this until you actually check it, right? Now, as commander, you're obviously going to see this the whole time, but if another squad lead is doing the request, you're not going to see it until they click that check mark. Once they click that check mark, then this is going to pop up on the map. Now, everything going forward here is going to be for commander. So, commanders, now, once you get this on the map, you're going to be able to approve or deny it. If we're actually going to do it here, we would click the check mark, and then this is where we're going to pick which asset we're going to use. Now, you're going to want to get a better idea in advance to know exactly what you're going to do. And I'll probably cut this right here, show some clips of me like using the UAV to map everything out exactly where I want it and how I'm going to do it. And I'll voice over all that. But from here, we're just going to deny this. We'll get another one in. You're going to want to map out specifically where you want to do the run, right? So primarily the rockets and the A10s need to be accurately fired in order to get those to be effective for what you want. So let's say this bush right here is a radio, right? And I want to RD the radio, or A10 the radio. So I'm gonna put an observe down on the map, and then I'm gonna put the tactical request in, because you can see the tactical request is bigger than what a tiny little radio would be. And just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna put the radio marker down here. But so I'm gonna put this request in. Now, once it's approved, wherever you're gonna start is where you need to right click and approve this, right? Or to start it. So if I click right in the middle, right, and I go to A10, it's gonna put the run right where I right clicked. So you still have a chance to right click out of this. So within this circle here, what I want to do is I want to start down here. I want to A10, and I want to A10 right over here. All right. Now we're gonna have a little bit of dead time while this A10 comes in, but I find this easiest. Okay, it wasn't too bad. That's right. The RD is like a full 60 seconds. Feels like it takes forever. But the A10 is pretty quick, and the rockets. So here it comes in. Here's our bush. Yeah. We fucked that bush up. So
mission complete. Returning to base.
I really dislike using these without being in my UAV. In the UAV, I can get observes down right on the map, right? I can get the observes down. I can use this in my radial menu. You know, there's the hab. There's the radio. And then I can know exactly where everything is specifically. So when I call in this A10 strike, right? Just theoretically here. I'll approve this. And then I know for a fact, I put these down 100% accurately on the map. If I do my A10 here through here, I know that when that A10 comes in, not only is it going to hit the radio, it's going to hit the hab. Now, obviously there's no radio or hab on the map, but in game practice, I do not like using these requests without doing them myself. That's a trust thing. If you're playing with guys you know and squad leads that can confirm these requests are 100% accurate for you, that's fine. I typically try and get my UAV up, though, to do it. Now, speaking of the UAV, unfortunately, due to them, I don't know why they have it disabled, because you should be able to practice this part. You should be able to practice everything in Jensen's Farm, but there's a few things you can't. So, the UAV, when your UAV's up, you can click it, put it on the map. You can make it bigger and smaller. Now, here's the kicker with the UAV. The thick green line, and I'm colorblind, so hopefully it's green. I apologize if it's not. But the thick green line on the outside is going to be the actual flight path of the UAV. So if I shrink it down to this tiniest part, you're going to get a lot more stable field of view for you to be able to control the camera without it going all over the place. But if you've got it up here, like you have no idea where what you're looking for is at, and you need to put it in such a wide spot, it can get tricky to pin things down and mark it. Now, unfortunately, in Jensen's Farm, they don't actually put the UAV up, which really sucks, because I'd like to be able to show you all the tools. There's a stabilize on target feature, which will let you lock on to vehicles and follow them around, or I'll lock on to a specific part in the UAV and then throw an observe out, just so I kind of know, like if they've got emplacements, I'll do that to mark the emplacements. But unfortunately, I can't it sucks. They won't let us click on it to show you. So I'll insert some clips. But all right, so you can see in this clip that the first thing I did once I got the UAV up was found the hab. And then once I figured out where the hab was, I then saw all their emplacements, all their towers and everything. And I knew I was going to do a creeping barrage. So I marked through from the hab down to where they were running from their hab and through their defenses down to where my team was at. So that's the closest hab they had. And so what I did was I marked an observe on the map to point that out for me as a indicator for my creeping barrage to go from behind the hab and to creep all the way through up to where they were running to. So you can see that's one of the ways I'll use the UAV to mark everything to kind of indicate where I want my runs to go. Theory for A10 and rockets, right? It's mostly about three things you're going to want to be able to do with them. You're going to want to disable habs or radios, or hopefully, if the enemy team's put them close enough, both in the same shot to allow your team to move in without more people spawning in and take over that position. The other thing I've used it for is when, hats are completely across the map. The tank's been terrorizing us on one side. If I can confirm it's tracked and marked accurately, I will use it to destroy a tank. That's a pretty vital tool. The third thing, I've rarely ever used it for only for emplacements, but if they've super fobbed and they've got a bunch of emplacements that aren't letting your guys move in at all, I have used it on, towns like this where I'll rocket the roofs and just clear out all the emplacements that let my guys get a little bit more freedom of moving into a place. That's pretty much it for the A10, I think. So we'll move on to the barrages. So you have two types of barrages. One is a static barrage and one is a creeping barrage. So we'll put the request in here. Go ahead and approve it. So from here, the static barrage is exactly how it sounds. It's static. It does not move. So when you put it down, it's going to barrage in this very specific area. It's 100 meters radius. Yeah, radius. Initially, but you can get it all the way up to 300 meters. You can barrage a very wide area. Now, the issue that a lot of people have, and I wish they'd fix it and balance both of the barrages out, is the static barrage fires far less shells than the creeping barrage. And I'll show you here in a little bit. The static barrage also hits a very wider area. It is a lot more condensed when you do the smaller range, and typically, you got to remember we're zoomed in here. So if this was a hab or a central location of where enemies are at, they're gonna fit in this circle, but it's still a lot wider of a path than the creeping barrage. So we'll go ahead, do this again real quick before these land. And watch the creeping barrage, much more condensed path than the static barrage. When they say shot over or whatever language they're doing, they're going to send two ranging shots. So you got 1, 2, and then the same timing in between shots, you're going to have the full barrage on the third set. All right, so now we're gonna go to the creeping barrage. So when you're putting the request in for the creeping barrage, we're gonna get it approved here. I'm gonna approve it, and then I'm gonna start up here, right? So the creeping barrage is useful if most useful. Let me say this: there are two reasons why it's useful. One, you can leave it, and it's just standard length right here, right? And this is going to be, we'll watch this one. I'll do this one first. This is going to be a much tighter, compact, devastating strike than what the static barrage is. Now, also, I will let this one come in and I'll do the, where you can change the length. But you can change the length of the static barrage. And we'll go into that in a minute. God, this takes forever.
Fire for effect.
Thank you. All right. First one. Second one. All right. Now watch how tight and compact this is. It's going to start towards the back where we put the request in at. So back here. And that actually doesn't seem that way because it's such a compact barrage. Oops. Accidentally blew the heli up.
Rounds complete.
Okay. So you can see the creeping barrage. Oh, blew the second heli up too. You get a lot more shells in the creeping barrage. And the reason you get a lot more shells in the creeping barrage is because it's meant to go over a much longer distance. And I'll show you here. So we did that as the smallest possible length you could do it at. But the creeping barrage can actually be dragged down for 300 meters. Same as the, the area of the static barrage, but the creeping barrage will go and it'll keep a super tight path. I use this the most if, say, the enemy's got an attack hab, they're pushing, or mostly from an attack hab. I'll find their hab and I'll put it down and then I'll drag this all the way over to whatever the point is. So the point, is all the way through this way, right?
Immediate suppression. Over.
And one thing I didn't explain either, the point of the creeping barrage is that it starts towards the back where you placed it and it will slowly creep out through the path. The reason the first one was more spread out is because it is a little, it does spread out a little bit. We'll have 4 or 5 shells hit here and a couple hit over here, and then, but the base of it will start and move its way up towards the end of whatever path you did. So we'll do the waiting game again.
Shot. Over.
Can I go into admin cam here? Oh, I can go into admin cam. Oh, look at that. All right, so there's our first 2 shots. Now this is the long creep, remember? So gonna start towards the back of where we did it. You can see it starts moving down the path of what we did the request in at.
Target neutralized out.
So there you go. There you have it. That's the differences. Look at all these shells I've been firing at poor Jensen's farm. So those are your 3 tools to use as commander. All right. Now, one thing before we get into the irregular militia or insurgents command, I do feel like I need to point out, just to be clear, you cannot use commander assets if you're not near a hab. Right? Now, I'm in Jensen's farm, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. But in game, you're going to have to be near a hab, and it'll tell you. I don't know if it'll tell me in Jensen's farm, but it'll pop up. When you're within range in your commander, it'll pop up and say, commander actions online, commander actions offline. And I'll try and get a clip of that too. But, so, irregular and insurgents do not get the same commander assets that the OP4 and Russians have. They get handheld drones, like DJI drones. So from here, we'll go to our map. We'll do handheld drone ready. Okay. It's actually going to physically put one on the map. And then it pulls out your phone. Just so you are aware, if you put your phone away and you start shooting, right, you need to go back to your drone. What's it? 7, or just scroll through. All right, so we're going to right click, and then similar to the UAV, and this is actually a good way to show you what I'll do, is you actually physically use WASD, control descends, spacebar ascends, and then you have a zoom. Now you can't lock on targets with this thing, but you actually fly the drone around. Now, if these things are loud, they are super loud, and even in tanks, you can still hear these things inside the tank when they're flying at you. So, one useful tool for these is strapping IED bombs to this with a sapper. Now, insert the clip right up here so you can see this being done. But what I like to do is you get the drone every 10 minutes, just like a commander gets the UAV every 10 minutes. So if I have the availability, what I'll do is I'll get my sapper, throw some IED bombs on there, and have him hang out near me if he's in my squad, or not. I'll use local chat and get that ready. Actually, local chat doesn't work when you're in the drone, so don't do it. You can do it all you want, but I don't think they can hear you. Maybe they can. That's one thing you guys will have to comment below and let me know, because I'm not even sure. I don't think I've ever been a sapper doing it for commanders. So what I will do is we'll fly around, we'll strap some IED bombs to this. I'll find a useful target, whether that's a hab, could be a tank, could be, you know, just a giant collection of guys all compact in a specific area that we need to kill. And I'll get in either command chat or wherever and just tell them blow it, and you'll hear the little phone ring, and we'll blow up whatever we're here. We'll use the drone to blow them up. The other thing, the one commander tool that you do have as a commander for the irregular or insurgents is a mortar barrage. Now, it's not quite as powerful as an artillery barrage. It will disable habs, and it did it a lot easier before the update where they buffed the emplacement health. But you got to do it the same way, right? Someone can put the tactical request in, or you use your drone to do it. And we'll zoom out here because we're way over here. We flew the drone over here. We'll accept it. And then same thing, you put it on the map. This can be this. Oh yeah, that's right. So insurgents. Insurgents get a wide area. You can't change the size of it. So it is what it is. So we're gonna get this back. Watch this. Now, one advantage that this have with it not being nearly as powerful as the artillery is that there is no ranging shot to warn the enemy team that you're about to get artilleried. It goes from nothing to happening. Like, boom, leveling them. Now, it is a wide area. It is very effective at killing infantry. We'll see if it can get a direct hit on one of these helicopters. It should take one of them out, but it's as close as you're gonna get to an arty that you can with the Irregular and Insurgents. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna do it. Are we gonna do it? No. Oh, the heli's on fire though. There we go. We got one of the helis. Hey, we got both of the helis. Okay. All right. Oh, that heli's done for. Okay. Both of them tipped over. Yeah. Anyways. Okay. So that's what you would do with your drone. Now, you also can crash this thing on your own. If you crash it, the IEDs don't survive either. So we're just going to throw this out here. Go through this window here and boom. There we go. I just crashed my drone. Now I got to wait. If this wasn't Jensen's, I'd have to wait 10 more minutes for my drone to come back. So that is the commander asset for Irregular or Insurgents. All right. So I wanted to make this less than 10 minutes, 27 minutes later. It's long as shit. So if you made it this far into the video, good for you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for watching it all the way through. If you're skipping to this, hi, it's nice to see you again. But that's how and when to use the best I could explain it without actually like being live and having direct questions to use all the commander assets. So the last bit about commander, which I think makes people the most nervous about it, is, you know, being the commander, being the leader, right? Yeah. It's not as difficult as you think. It's not too far off from being a squad lead unless you're playing competitive. But let's be frank, if you're playing competitive, you already know how to use the commander assets, so you're probably not watching this in the first place. But don't stress about it too much. You know, the biggest key is communication. You know, talk to the other squad leads, ask for intel, let them know what you're doing. You know, you're not going to not have any assholes ever. You know, you're always going to run into assholes anytime, but don't stress too much about it. You don't have to be a micromanager telling everyone to go. I'm very casual when I come in. I let people do their own thing and then just try and corral them, nudge them in the right direction, or rearrange my plans based off of what everyone else is doing to a point where I know I'll be best able to utilize my job as commander to help win the game. So don't stress about it too much. It's you just got to get through, rip the band-aid off, play a few games, get it over with. But if you have any questions, put them down in the comments. I'll be sure to reply, or even better, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and usually Sundays, but if not Sunday, Saturday evenings, I stream, and I'm on Twitch at Tommy_Lee with 3 more underscores, or right here on this channel. I'm doing both at the same time. I'll love to have you on either channel, so you can come ask me any questions you have right then live. I'll promise you I'll go answer them. I can't talk today. It's fucking Monday. If you're not watching this on a Monday, I'm recording this on a Monday, and it feels like a Monday. So I'm done. I've now made this video like fucking 30 minutes long. So I'm out. Peace. Thank you. I got my commander video done. I'm out.